We've got PG, Procter Gamble. Tuesday before open, only one earnings miss since July 2017, so I expect this name to beat. Question is it already baked into the current price? Strong upward trend close to lower bound, bounced off of in 2020 and 2022. Stack shows a big money print from 610 for August 15th, 170 calls, $1.82 million spent. Dark pools show nearly $1 billion of equity bought recently at the end of last month and beginning of this month. So we do have this pretty nice channel that we've gone up. We've peaked up above it a few times. The thing here, though, is this pattern that we're seeing near the highs could be a little bit of a distribution pattern, was what I was looking at. In terms of the big money, though, I wanted to make sure you guys see $439 million spent here, $321 million, and $226 mil, all just coming in at the end of last month and beginning of this month. So they're definitely accumulating and purchasing this. 160 was the spot price at which it was trading around, and it's down back toward 152. So could it be headed up further? I would actually say if this is a reaccumulation pattern, we've seen a little bit of a spring, a drop down to these lower ends. We could see it head up further toward that 160 range, 161 range. If we see a miss on earnings or some poor guidance, I would expect it to come back down toward 155 and eventually back toward 151. So we'll see. This one is definitely a name that I think in due time will be headed up further. What earnings does obviously can be a bit of a coin flip at times, but with them purchasing nearly $1 billion in shares, I would definitely say I would lean a little bit more bullish, at least for the long run.
Well, I know the big thing with them, when I did do my research, is the dividend. Like they're kind of a northern star of dividends, basically. So like that's really like their big. That was like the big news story. Other than that, it was just a bunch of breakdowns of all the revenue they're expecting from all the different sources that they have right now. All of them are pretty much expected to be up anywhere from 5% year over year up to I think 31% year over year was the highest I saw. So, but the dividends was like the one thing I did see about them where I was like, that's a little interesting. But I think I don't know how they didn't really explain how that's going to play into their earnings. It was just talking about why it was like the northern star of the Dow, basically.
Okay. I mean, if you go look in your bathroom, I'm sure you've got some Procter and Gamble,
Oh
products.
yeah, like Tide and like that kind of
Yep.
like they own a bunch of stuff. I know that,
Yeah,
but it's just
they own
like
a lot of things. And I want to also use this as a comparison to what we were talking about with UPS. UPS is giving a dividend about what, 6.6% was what it said. Look at this over here. PG, being the northern star, is only a 2.67% dividend. So that is already pretty solid because it's consistent money that they're going to be siphoning off to their shareholders. PE ratio at about 25, and overall their company has a solid net margin, around 17 to 18% pretty consistently annually, and on a quarterly basis it's popped up above 20% in Q2 of 2025 and Q3 as right now 19% or so. So we'll see how they report, but I definitely would say one of those names for longer term. They're always going to continue to make money. People are always going to need their products, but right now with them spending that much money on it, I would definitely say long term I would lean bullish on this name. Let's head back into, I think I got one or two more left, and then we'll get a little preview of our bigger names in a moment too.